Choose the correct spelling. Right again. Mystic is a valid answer. Just like the North Indians have summer as mango season. So which country celebrates the season of Hilsa fish?
Great job. Bangladesh is the accurate answer.
When Gopal started dancing and singing loudly at the court gate, the gatekeepers allowed him to enter the court. Bravo! False is the answer. Which of the following word means coat or mark something messily or carelessly with a sticky substance? Smart pick. Smearing is the correct choice. Simple past tense 3. The weather dash is strangely fine this morning when I opened the windows. You chose was, and it is correct. The smaller desert animals dash underground during the hot day and come out at night to eat.
Sharp thinking. Burrow is the right choice.
When Gopal came in strange get-up, everyone in the market and in the court was interested in.
Good job. Your answer, Gopal, and his look works well here.
The people kept talking about the way Gopal was dressed and did not notice the Hilsa fish.
Nice selection. True is the correct and valid answer.
Past continuous tense 5. Sarah was dash because she was late for her classes. Excellent. Running is a brilliant choice.
Right, true, false. Gopal was enjoying the attention of the shoppers in the market. Nice work. You chose true, and it is correct.
The king challenged Gopal to make the people stop talking about the Hilsa fish. Strong choice. True is the right answer. Gopal took a big bag, some spices, and a knife to go and buy the Hilsa fish.
Right choice. False is the best answer.
Like other climates, the ground in a desert is not hidden by a cover of dash. You got it. Your choice, all of these is right. It was the season for dash. Fishermen could think of nothing other than this.
Clear logic. Your choice, Gila fish, is sound and 100% true.
Which of the following things Gopal did not do before going to the court?
Nicely done. Eat jalbis is a solid answer.
Which of the following scientific names is not used for the Hilsa fish? Perfect. Tenelosa was over is the correct choice. Was Gopal successful? Did he win the challenge given to him by the king?
You're right. True is the correct answer.
What was not the reaction of people seeing Gopal in that strange attire?
Well picked. God is the correct answer.
Gopal's wife was not happy, allowing him to go out in tattered clothes.
Valid point. True is true.
All right, Gopal, out with it. Why are you dressed up in this dash?
Solid response. Ridiculous fission is a valid choice.
When courtiers did not allow Gopal to meet the king, he started dash. Good thinking. Dancing and singing loudly is the right answer. When the guards stopped him from entering the palace, Gopal started.
Exactly. Singing and dancing loudly makes sense, and it is right choice.
What did Gopal start doing after the soldier told him to get lost?
Great thinking. Dancing and singing loudly is the right choice. To divert the attention of people and to win the challenge, Gopal. Well done. All of them is the right choice.
Which of the following options
is not a part of Gopal's disguise? Oh.
Smart move. Gray hair is an accurate answer.
On seeing Gopal dressing as beggar, his wife thought of him as well-reasoned. Foodman is the correct choice. When guards did not allow Gopal to enter the palace, he started
Correct. Both and is the right answer.
The people noticed the Hilsa fish when he went to the palace. On track. False is the correct answer. The king said, "Why are you dressed up in this dash fashion?" Correct response. Ridiculous is the most accurate answer. Who got angry when the courtier was talking about Hilsa fish? Excellent choice. King is the right answer. The king had a fight with the largest dealer of Hilsa fish. Nicely done. False is a solid answer. Which of the following adjectives should be used for Gopal? Strong choice. Self-confident is the right answer. Nobody but Gopal was talking about Hilsa fish in the court. Great job. False is the accurate answer. Simple present tense 1. She dashed with her parents in London. Exactly. Lives make sense and it is right choice. Which of the following seasons is mentioned in the lesson? Good thinking. Monsoon is the right answer. What did Gopal start doing at the entry gate of the palace? Perfect. Singing and dancing is the correct choice. Gopal dressed himself in such a way that it looked to dash. Excellent. Crazy man is a brilliant choice. Who have learned to line under very hot and dry conditions? Correct. All of these is the right answer. Who underground during the hot day and come out at night? Well done. Desert animal is the right choice. The king was tired of all the talks about the Hilsa fish. Nice work. You chose true, and it is correct. Fishmongers were not happy selling fish at cheap prices. Right again. False is a valid answer. What does a rebel do when nobody talks during the class? Bravo. Creates a disturbance is the answer. Gopal wear which clothes when he was going to buy fish? Sharp thinking. Disgraceful rags is the right choice. The king challenged Gopal to bring the huge Hilsa fish. Valid point. To the palace is true. Whenever it rains in a desert, which is very rare dash. Clear logic. Your choice, desert flowers bloom, is sound and 100% true. Which animal is called the ship of the desert? Ada Ash. Well reasoned. The camel is the correct choice. Gopal dressed like Dash to go to buy the Hilsa fish. You chose all of the above, and it is correct. Are you a courtier or a fisherman? Who spoke so? Great thinking. Emperor is the right choice. Householders were happy to get Hilsa fish, Atan. Right choice. Cheap price is the best answer. The king got angry when he was shown to be wrong. On track. False is the correct answer. The king asked Gopal to prove that Gopal was Dash. Excellent choice. Clever is the right answer. The rebel is likely to refuse the offer, which is well picked. Accepted by others is the correct answer. The camel can drink a dash of water at one time. Solid response. Lot is a valid choice. After buying the Hilsa fish, where did Gopal go? You got it. Your choice, the palace, is right. Gopal bought the Hilsa fish and started for Dash. Smart move. The palace is an accurate answer. Before going out to buy a Hilsa fish, Gopal Dash. Correct response. All of these is the most accurate answer. The major feature of all desert is dash and dash. Good job. Your answer, dryness. Variation of temperature works well here. Where was the first scene located in the story? Nice selection. Lake is the correct and valid answer. How did the king feel after he lost his temper? Smart pick. Guilty is the correct choice.
The king challenged Gopal to get a gold chain.
You're right. False is the correct answer. Who is the author of Gopal and the Hilsa fish? Good job. Your answer, Narendra Bijewal, works well here.
Question 5. Gopal clearly reminded the king of.
Great thinking. The challenge is the right choice.
What is everybody talking about in the lesson?
You're right. Hilsa fish is the correct answer. Dash. Plants store water in their thick stems. Nice work. You chose cactus and it is correct. Everyone hated the Hilsa fish in the village. Clear logic. Your choice false is sound and 100% true. Choose the correct antonym of the word guilty. Correct response. Innocent is the most accurate answer. What is the correct meaning of the word rags? Right choice. Old piece of cloth is the best answer. Gopal was too poor to afford decent clothes. Well picked. False is the correct answer. When does the flowers bloom in desert area? Smart pick. When it rains is the correct choice. Who has accepted the challenge of the king? Perfect. Gopal is the correct choice. Where do cactus plants store water in dash? Great job. Their thick stems is the accurate answer. Where did Gopal go after dressing in rags? Excellent choice. To buy Hilsa fish is the right answer. Which season is mentioned in this lesson? Nicely done. Season of Hilsa fish is a solid answer. Most of the people thought that Gopal was. Sharp thinking. A madman is the right choice. Heaps of sand in a desert are called dash. Well done. Sand dunes is the right choice. In the story, everyone talks about dash. Well reasoned. Hilsa fish is the correct choice. The courtiers discussed nothing but dash. You got it. Your choice, Hilsa fish, is right.
Who is the poet of the poem The Rebel?
Strong choice. DJ Enright is the right answer. Find out one word that means shameful. You chose disgraceful, and it is correct. Gopal's wife called him a genius person. On track. False is the correct answer. Dash, we're talking about the Hilsa fish.
Excellent. All these three is a brilliant choice.
Most of the people thought Gopal to be.
Good thinking. A madman is the right answer.
The man carrying the fish seemed to be.
Exactly. A madman makes sense, and it is right choice.
The Dash, known as the ship of desert.
Smart move. Camel is an accurate answer.
Who got angry to talk about Hilsa fish?
Right again. King is a valid answer.
The people were only talking about Dash.
Nice selection. Hilsa fish is the correct and valid answer.
Gopal could not afford decent clothes.
Solid response. False is a valid choice.
Gopal went out with half-shaved beard.
Bravo, true is the answer.
What do you mean by the word luring?
Valid point. Tempting is true.
The king had to order to allow him in?
Correct. His servants is the right answer.
Gopal proved the king that he is Dash.
Clear logic. Your choice smart is sound and 100% true.
Who wishes to go into the shed soon?
Right choice. The speaker is the best answer.
A desert may be 2- or 2-.
Good thinking. Hot, cold is the right answer.
Sources of water in desert land -
Great thinking. Well, thanks. Canals is the right choice.
Hilsa fish was the talk of the town.
Perfect. True is the correct choice.
The word synonymous to comical is
Strong choice. Funny is the right answer.
What is the meaning of moisture?
Right again. Wetness is a valid answer.
How did Gopal bring the Hilsa fish?
Nicely done. He disguised himself is a solid answer.
The face of Gopal was shaven.
Nice work. You chose half, and it is correct.
What did Gopal wear to the market?
On track. Rags is the correct answer.
The king congratulated Gopal for
Smart pick. Winning the challenge is the correct choice.
Gopal wished to fulfill the dream.
Sharp thinking. Of the king is the right choice.
The desert may have and dash.
Well picked. Mountains, hills is the correct answer.
Who objects to Gopal's disguise?
Exactly. Gopal's wife makes sense and it is right choice.
People of desert lands wear
Valid point. Cotton clothes is true.
Right is the meaning of strange.
Nice selection. Unusual is the correct and valid answer.
What is the meaning of smearing?
Good job. Your answer both and B works well here.
The king lost his temper easily.
Excellent. True is a brilliant choice.
Which kind of desert in Ladakh?
Well done. Cold is the right choice.
The king Gopal in the end?
You chose congratulated. And it is correct.
Find a word synonym of anger.
Correct. Rage is the right answer.
Gopal dash to enter the palace?
Well reasoned. Danced and sang is the correct choice.
The onlookers called Gopal dash. Bravo! All these three is the answer. What did Gopal put on his face?
You got it. Your choice, Ash, is right.
Who gave the challenge to whom? You're right. King to Gopal is the correct answer. Was Gopal ashamed of himself? Smart move. No is an accurate answer. What is the antonym of long?
Great job. Short is the accurate answer.
Gopal's wife called him Dash.
Excellent choice. Mad is the right answer.
Dash is desert land of India.
Correct response. Jaisalmer is the most accurate answer.
What did Gopal start doing?
Solid response. Dancing and singing loudly is a valid choice.
The king lauded Gopal for sharp thinking. Both 1 and 2 is the right choice. Ladakh is a dash desert. Well picked. Cold is the correct answer. The opposite of lost is? Nice work. You chose find, and it is correct. What was the season for? Right again. Hilsa fish is a valid answer. Mystic and comical means. Great job. Mysterious person and joker is the accurate answer. Gopal accepts the dash. Clear logic. Your choice challenge is sound and 100% true. Gopal was clever, so he on track. Disguised himself is the correct answer. A rebel is generally. You're right. Disliked is the correct answer. It was the season of. You got it. Your choice Hilsa fish is right. Synonyms of smearing.
Bravo. All of the above is the answer.
Difficult to explain. Nicely done. Mystic is a solid answer. Gopal was a madman. Excellent choice. False is the right answer. What is disgraceful? Right choice. Shameful is the best answer. Who was Gopal? Good thinking. King's courtier is the right answer. How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format. Solid response. Contact Narayan Changda on Facebook is a valid choice.